I want to share with you what's really happening in the streets, because there's multiple different things that's happening on the forefront of what we see in the economy, with the banking system, with the technology companies, and eventually it's going to affect you because we're all interdependent on each other in order for us to survive. No one industry exists on its own. No one industry exists on its own, right? If you have a food company, let's say you have a restaurant, right? Or you have a food truck, even a better example. Let's say you have a food truck. Well, in order to even be able to make the food truck, you have to have manufacturing companies that then also depend on suppliers, that then also depend on the steel companies, for example, and the semiconductor chip companies. And then that food company also depend on the workers, which also depends on the farming system and the suppliers, right? And then you have the different shops that put together the food company. And then you have the different governments that then issue the permits for you to even be able to operate within a certain municipality, right? And then if you own a food truck, then you also have a commissary, because a lot of people think that you can just have a food truck and that's the end of the conversation. No, a commissary is a restaurant or a different place that is certified by the state, also meeting the health inspection requirements, usually another restaurant that you can then go refrigerate, clean out your truck, be able to get supplies, do the prep work so that they can then get out there in the food truck. And you can't just build a food truck and go out there and start selling food. You're gonna get yourself shelled up. You're gonna get jammed up as a result of it. And so that is an example. And then they have to depend on the banking system in order to pay employees. And then they got to depend on the credit card companies, because when you go in, you don't just use cash, you use an Apple Pay. It's all interdependent on each other in order for this entire system to work. And when one system fails, it then puts pressure on another system that can't survive by itself. And that's why they say that the banks or the manufacturing company, they save the auto companies, they save the banking companies. They're going to continue to save things because they know that one industry can't survive on its own. Even when we talk about entertainment, when LeBron left Cleveland the first time, they say that it was a multi-billion-dollar effect of what happened to Cleveland's economy, especially downtown, around the arena, all of the restaurants and everything like that. The visitors come in and seeing LeBron. People used to come from all the way to Detroit to see a home game because you could see Cleveland was only a few hours away from Detroit. The economy contracted because he left a completely different environment and went down to Miami. It's all interdependent on each other. We're all interdependent on each other. Without you watching me, I'm not supported. I have no reason to live stream. YouTube has no reason to promote me in the algorithm because they don't get any money or any visibility by being able to run ads. And if the companies aren't able to run ads, then that means that they're not able to market to their target demographic, which lowers sales. And then if that lowers sales, then they have to then start paying attention to their employees. And then we all fucked up. Payment processors, banking companies, all of these different people are affected by what happens within any industry. So when you then make ignorant statements and you say stuff like, well, it really doesn't matter if they lay off. No. Eventually, it comes and haunts you and it affects you in one way or another because we are all interdependent on each other. And so when you see stories like this, for example.
Ed, were these job cuts unexpected and larger than we thought, or in line?
Certainly expected. My colleagues and I reported last week they were coming right in the thousands. I would say 10,000 is deeper than sources had kind of steered us towards. It's not just 10,000 jobs being cut, but Meta is also scrapping the 5,000 open roles that they were advertising for. And you go really quickly to the question of why, right? And then in there buried and in the regulatory filing is they've lowered their expenses forecast for this year to a range of $86 to $92 billion. So clearly they needed to go deeper to reduce that cash burn and spend while the world around them changes.
Mark Zuckerberg's outlook on the economy is, to put it mildly, a bit like the weather with you right now.
Correct.
A little downbeat.
a little downbeat. I mean, and when it rains, it pours, or whatever you want to say. I mean, he's basically citing higher interest rates. He's citing a leaner economy. He's citing geopolitical tensions. But for me, the really interesting part of that statement is saying that increased regulatory scrutiny of technology is resulting in slower growth. I think that's something we need to look into.
Now check this out, y'all. Check this out. I want y'all to see something. Now check this out, y'all. Look at what's happening year to date. Look at what's happening year to date. Now, let me disclose a couple different things. A, I'm not a financial analyst, nor am I a financial planner or anything like that. I am not giving you information based off of what I think you should do. I am giving information based off of what I do. A lot of you, y'all have seen my portfolio, y'all have seen my stock holdings. I'm heavy into Netflix, and another company that I'm very heavy into is Meta. And I've always been telling you guys for a long time that I'm long on Meta. I'm long on Meta. And when somebody says they're long on something, that means that they see the long-term benefit in investing in the company because they think it's going to be a huge return on the investment. Now, Meta is up year to date 57% on their stock. It's good to be a bag chaser, ain't it? It's good to be a Patreon member, ain't it? When everybody was saying doom and gloom Meta, Anton was saying to his bag chasers, listen, I'm not telling y'all what y'all should do, but this is a buying opportunity for me. The one thing that we cannot hide is the receipts. The one thing that we cannot hide is receipts. Now, I'm going to tell you why I believe that the stock is doing what it's doing, right? And it's a very basic, fundamental thing. And again, the things that I look for when I'm looking to invest in a company, the 8 things, the video is inside of the Patreon. But I've been telling you guys for the last year or so that it is a buying opportunity for me personally. A buying opportunity for me personally. I substantiated why it was a buying opportunity, right? Oh, y'all can't see the bottom of the graph? What do you mean you can't see the bottom of the graph? This is the bottom of the graph, babe. It's right here. Bottom of the graph, you see where it says 120? It's only saying year to date. Year to date. Anyways, what I was saying is, it was a buying opportunity for me. Okay, now I don't check my portfolio. Once I invest in a company, I make a decision based off of a long-term view as far as 10 years or more, right? But here's the caveat to it. Whenever you start to see a company say things like, we're laying off, it is a strong, not all the time, but it is a strong possibility that the shareholders and the stock of that company is going to react in a positive way. Why? Because shareholders don't give a fuck about your job. Shareholders only care about growth and profitability. Growth and profitability. Now, what does that mean? That means that the less amount of people that it takes in order to run this company, while we're also pushing out the same product and innovating, is going to be very, very good for the bottom line. And we're going to meet high expectations as far as their quarterly earnings, which means that the more of you that they can get out of there doing things that you don't actually have to do, and the less they care about the workers, the more the shareholders are going to benefit. It's just the call. It's just the reality. What's up, babe? Look at Rita, y'all. Let me show y'all what Rita got here. Look. Hey, honey, I'm about to go shopping. See you guys later. I'm going shopping. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my life. Where Anton out here giving y'all all the information, and my wife is about to go and hit the street so she can go bust down the stores. She said that the stores is open, honey. Let me continue. Anyways. Have fun. You about to take the luxury car in order to go shopping? Yes, sir. Do you know where the keys are? I have them already. Oh, my God. Anyways, shout out to my chick that said I'm about to go shopping. Protect our black women. But let's continue.
Basically, the economy is worse than feared, and a lot of the sources have been telling me inside the company they've been worried. Morale is rock bottom right now inside of Meta. They knew these layoffs were coming, but I think they were worried that the economy would worsen, which would require Meta to take deeper action, and of course they have. You look at the share reaction, investors of course are cheering it because they're getting exactly what they wanted.
Ed, I have to wonder, is the rough economic...
Did you hear what he said? The investors are getting exactly what they wanted. They want you laid off. They don't give a fuck about your job. They don't care about your diversity, equity, and inclusion. They don't care nothing about you. The more y'all that get laid off and the more that we can do with less people actually increases the bottom line. They don't care about black people. They don't care about white people. When the economy start contracting, it's an opportunity for them to get rid of the fat. It's the opportunity for them to not worry about the women's rights and whether or not women make 73 cents on a dollar for men in this particular industry. They don't give a fuck about that. They only care about the best interests of the owners, me. And we're going to protest and we're going to say, listen, we need you to do the thing that's going to raise up the bottom line. And you know what they're going to do? Get rid of your ass because you are part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion team. And you thought that this was about race, and it's not. It's about the bottom line. It's about that money. Reading Super Chats. I see you, Miss James. We gonna cook. We gonna cook. Let's continue.
economic outlook, specifically a Zuckerberg Meta thing, versus a broader economic outlook thing, in that it doesn't necessarily mean that this is the bottom then.
Well, when we go back to that OPEX or expenses reduction, BI are very quick to point out that it's likely to be focused around R&D, in other words, reduced R&D spending. The story with Meta has been that investors lost patience.
Now look, check this out, y'all. Look at the trajectory. Look at the arc. Okay? This is a 1-year time span. All right? So when they say year to date is from January all the way up until whatever it is that we are now. So that means that in roughly 1 quarter, they up about 60%. 60% year to date. Now, if you go back and you look at my videos, okay? Hold on, let me see if I can rewind it slightly. There we go. All right. See, it says November right there. In November, if you go back and you look at the Millionaire Morning Show live streams, in November, where you got this big dip, is when I said, you know what? Bag chasers, I'm not telling you what to do, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going on a shopping spree. It's time to go shopping for Meta. Y'all remember that? Remember when we was having these conversations late last year and I was saying, listen, it's a recession, these companies' stock is down, investors is calling for them to be able to make cuts and make changes, technology companies is moving in this particular way, and I said, look, I told y'all to prepare yourself because it's always a buying opportunity for strong companies that are not going away. Meta is not going away. And it's a buying opportunity whenever things start to go down and stocks start looking cheap and y'all start doing like this and holding on to y'all little dollars. That's an opportunity for us to buy. And we're going to increase our position in these companies because we like the strong fundamentals of the companies. Again, the 8 things that I'm looking for when I'm looking to buy into a company. We like the strong fundamentals of the companies. We understand the companies. And if you believe so much in it, then it's an opportunity for you to make an investment and increase your position. And so now while we over here popping champagne, you sitting here talking about what we shouldn't be doing and why we shouldn't be riding first class. Use a lie. If you go through and you look at all of my Apple, if you look at my Apple wallet and you look at my expired passes, I got 81 expired passes. If you go and look at my expired passes, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let me go up. If you look at my expired passes, all you see is front court Pistons tickets. Front court Pistons tickets and pink purplish. Now, for the people that don't know what pink purplish means, these ain't nothing but first class flights. Delta Airlines, Pistons tickets, Delta Airlines, Ticketmaster event, Delta. All of these is first class flights. All of the pink, all of that's first class. First class, Pistons, first class, Pistons, 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 Pistons. All I do is fly first class and sit at the Pistons events. That's all I do. First class, first class, first class. Boarding pass, Miami. First, I know y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like seeing the sky priority down there at the bottom. You don't like it. Hold on, let me look at my expired passes. Boarding pass, first class. Let me see. Boarding pass, first class. See that? Oh, I got to flip it around. Hold on, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to make sure that we flip it around just for you. See that? First, zone, first. That's all I'm going to ride is first, everything. See, I don't mind showing the receipts. And I'm not doing this to stunt. I know y'all going to feel a certain type of way. Anton always stunting on us. No, this is meant to inspire you. It's meant to substantiate the fact that I don't bullshit when I'm talking about what I talk about. I don't cap when I say that I sit on the floor every single game. Let me show you where my seats are. Let me show you the difference. You know, I love to talk my shit. See this? Hold on, let me flip it around for you again. Let me see. You see that? VIP, FF, row 1. VIP, FF. See that? Row 1. You can actually go online and look at, in the seating arena, row 1. I'm row 1 every single fucking game, and I give away tickets. We don't care. On one hand, they're going to say, we don't care. And then on the other hand, they're going to say, well, you can't show the receipts. Which one do you want? Do you want me to show the receipts in order to be able to show you that somebody is real, or you don't care? Which one is it? Because in the middle of everybody else having a recession, you know what we're going to be doing? Popping champagne, partying, having a good time, living, flying, doing the things that everybody else do. Because we going to eat because we understand that it's a class war. It's not a racial war. And you know what the funniest part about it is? Let me say this before we move over into the next story. Let me say this. Because only people that are broken have this kind of